Hi, welcome to Free Spirit. So I'm going to try and put through this spirit message that has seriously been trying to come through for the last week. And pulling these three cards, what we've been getting in the weekly and monthly readings for October is that we're the star. We're stepping into more personal power and spiritual power. And you're going to be finding this within yourself and with others around you. And they told me to pull these three cards, and I don't have anything written down because, quite honestly, it's coming through in so many different bits and pieces, and I don't like to over censor. So I'm just going to relay in a stream here of what I've been getting the last couple of days. We've been getting the star card a lot. We've been getting the strength card a lot. And this is in our weekly and monthly readings for October about stepping into our personal and spiritual power. Full power. I know a lot of times when I give spirit message, sometimes it doesn't translate completely, or people don't get it right away what they're saying. But what it is almost in this sense is that we're tapping into a strength, almost like you have muscles that you don't use, and now we're using those muscles that we haven't necessarily used, and they're telling us to step into that power and use those muscles. So in various areas of your life, you may see it play out, whether it's standing up for and asking for more in certain areas, whether it's work, relationships, or anything like that. If you've been trying to do a personal goal for yourself, but you haven't had the motivation or the stamina, it's tapping into that kind of stamina and determination and that power that you can succeed. Whether it's totally transmuting, like kind of transforming in your life something before, when you didn't have the power within you really to take that leap or take that movement, you're finding you can now. If you have to metamorphose areas of your life, you're stepping into a strength that you didn't tap into before. And in this card, interestingly enough, it's like unzipping to release this feminine creative strength power to manifest new things, awakening this new strength for yourself. And here we have the strength card, and you are the star. But it's more than just feeling like the star. The stars are aligned and everything else. It's really tapping into a strength. And what's interesting is they said for the weekly reading, they had me hum this song. No one said it was easy. These are not easy times. These things that you're going to be manifesting or trying to succeed with, it takes work. And it takes stamina, it takes determination, it takes action, it takes a certain strength from you within your own personal power and spiritual power. And again, they keep stressing, it's through those times that are not easy is when you get the most strength. It's when you find your strength. So one of the spirit messages I'll share with you was in a certain area of my life, I felt like I lost out, like work-wise. So instead of looking at it as a loss, like if something's not working out in your life or something just hit a brick wall, dead end, and you feel like you wasted resources or wasted your time and energy, they were saying don't look at it as a loss, but look at it as a gain in strength. Because it's those moments, which you all know, but in challenging times, it's in the not so easy times that you actually gain a strength. You actually gain a strength that you didn't know you had. I almost want to, Whitney Houston had a song, I Didn't Know My Own Strength. It's a personal favorite of mine. It's one of her last songs that she ever did. I didn't know my own strength. You don't know your own strength until you have to get through something, whether it's a hardship, a setback, or something didn't work out. But these times, it's not necessarily a setback or anything else, but it's stepping into the power, using muscles almost that you didn't realize you had to power through something. So whether it's work-wise, a relationship, a personal goal, making a change in your life, it's that kind of thing that's happening now that we're going to discover these strengths within ourselves, almost an awakening of these new strengths and power. And we are the star card, so this is very divine. We're getting very connected to our intuition, our psychic abilities are off the charts. Listen to your spirit guides, loved ones who've passed on, giving you signs, symbols, and messages. Energy is very strong now. You'll actually feel internally when you feel like you're going off the mark a little bit. You'll actually be led very intuitively in which direction to go and what would be aligned and where you can use your strength at this time. But there's something about tapping into this strength that's coming in now that's really going to help you succeed in your goals when applied in the proper ways, in a divine way. You know, like if you're going for something that will actually really benefit you greatly and those around you. believe me, where there's a will, there's a way. The plan, you tap into that strength, and you will manifest something pretty powerful this year. This month, this looks almost like a pregnant woman. It's like unzipping this potential of giving birth to something here. And so I just wanted to elaborate a little bit further, because ever since I posted that weekly and monthly reading about strength coming into your personal and spiritual power, all in October, you're going to see this play out in various and people around you, that they're really tapping into something that they probably had buried within them, but they're almost tapping into a newfound strength, where it's helping them in the new directions in their life, where it's helping them succeed in new ways that they wouldn't have dreamed of a year ago, where it's being a little bit more ballsy and more bold in your goals or achievements that you want to make. And they're kind of applauding you along the way for that. And the star card's definitely showing that we've all been through tremendous upheaval and disappointments in the past, and we're finally in the star position, which has been coming up all through the month. But it's really this power, it's really finding this new power within you that could really power you through. I want to lean towards personal achievements, personal goals, whether it's coming from a new standing up for yourself, trying to create a new balance within your life, where I know receiving is really coming in a lot, having a more giving and receiving kind of life, where in the past, if you've been giving, you're finally going to look at the playing field and even it out a little bit, so you're on the receiving end. So that would include speaking up for yourself, asking for more, creating solutions and situations that actually give back to you as well. So it's more of a balanced justice coming in here. But this is all coming from your own personal power. So when I say what I keep saying from Spirit in these weekly and monthly readings of late about stepping into your personal and spiritual power, we've all been personally and spiritually powerful. But this time it's like we're tapping into new muscles that we haven't necessarily used to the fullest, maybe because our own personality traits get in the way, or patterns that we have, but we've released a lot, and we're stepping into using these muscles that we might necessarily have been successful with using in the past. So it's using these power muscles in a way that can really make positive changes and growth and transformations in your life now. And this is the new cycle that's coming in, because whatever new muscles you're working for is going to be unzipping like new possibilities. You're going to be powered up, and you're going to be like really powered up to make changes. And know also that, our greatest strengths always came from those moments that didn't work. It's almost like using that as fuel to fuel you for the next situation or possibility to keep going. I find it ironic she's writing this in your truth to those things that you're divinely linked with, to go forward with. And it's really unzipping. I keep going back to this. It's such an interesting card, right? Unzipping all these possibilities of new creations, new possibilities with this new strength, this new ballsiness that you're going to be feeling in the month of October. And let it not just fuel you for the month, but fuel you for the rest of the year and beyond. That maybe we've shed some of those negative thinking and patterns that have usually held us zipped up, And that's what really wanted to come through. I mean, I've gotten so many different spirit messages this week about this topic, and each one just seems so either highly personalized or highly, I don't know what, but this is like a condensed version of everything I've been getting through for the last week, and I wanted to put it on my channel. You may be feeling this now, or coming into this energy now, or seeing it being played out with the people around you. But they're really almost, I want to say, growing in leaps and bounds, like internally. So you may not notice huge changes on the outside, but inside, people are really rapidly growing in like this new sense of strength and power, and being in their truth and naked with it and going forward. And using strength muscles they haven't used before. I don't know how other way to say it. I mean, Spirit's been waking me up with that kind of sentence in a very long time. It's like it's in these moments that you prove your muscle or something like that, and you're using muscles like strength, building your strength in muscles that you don't normally use. And it's like rising to the occasion, basically. and new things are going to come of it. So this message is to say, yes, step into your personal and spiritual power. And if you feel you're tapping into areas in your life where you haven't applied the strength or the power that you should have, or what's called for, this is going to be a time when you're going to, and it's going to create change. It's going to create positive change and growth, huge growth. So I wanted to put this on my channel and convey the spirit messages in a condensed way that's been coming through. And if you're not feeling it now, you may be feeling it soon. And definitely in the people around you, you're going to see them tackling areas in their life where it's really calling them to tap into muscles that they haven't used. And it's almost like the divine is saying, yep, you're going to figure that out. Like, you're strong enough to apply yourself to this, and it's going to work in your favor. But it's not through easy times. Like, it's work, and it's applying yourself, and it's doing these divine actions and feeling fired up. And it's very much like standing up for yourself and taking really proper care of yourself in all ways. So if there were areas in your life where you weren't necessarily standing up for yourself or seeing your value or self-worth in a situation, you're going to find yourself in a way where you're going to be taking a different stance all of a sudden. And it's this ripple of using that muscle that you haven't used before that's going to create the changes. It's going to ripple out, and it's going to start, people are going to see you've changed, or you're behaving and acting in ways that are more empowered. And this has been through a lot of what we've been through in the past, a lot of what we've been cleansing out, and here we are in our truth, linked with the divine, riding forth and unzipping like all this potentiality and using muscles we haven't used before. I don't know how else to describe it, but I wanted to share this because this definitely has been gnawing at me for like literally the last week in bits and pieces and long things. But this is a condensed version of what I've gotten personally, and you may be feeling this playing out now, and it's exciting. It's a little like a growth spurt that's a little bit awkward, like almost like a young preteen. It's a little bit awkward. You're not quite sure of yourself, but you know you're being pushed to act differently, behave differently in some way, or modify a behavior, or modify where you're going for, charging farther ahead on things that you might not even have dreamed of before, and feeling a bit more ballsy and bolder. And yeah, and it's almost like we're being pushed to stretch like that, being pushed to stretch and use those muscles that we haven't used before, and it's going to benefit us, and it's being divinely pushed. It's going to create a better playing field for your life. You're going to balance things out. You're going to stand up for yourself. You're going to get those achievements and accomplishments, or whatever you're putting your mind and muscle to, and strength-wise, that's what's necessary. So, and they said it doesn't go poof. You don't just wish for it and it happens. It's through the not so easy times that's working those muscles. And that's the core of it. And that's why when they said you're stepping into personal and spiritual power, it's like stretching those muscles you haven't used to the extent. And that's what's expanding you. That's what's growing you. And that's the times that we're in right now. And so you're going to possibly be feeling it now, or coming in, but it's awesome energy, because you're going to see people making accomplishments they haven't before, being more, going for it than before, ballsier, having strength, and achieving things, like finally being able to achieve things that fizzled out before, or didn't kick off the ground before, or wouldn't even be an idea before. It's really a powerful, great time. So again, we are the star with the strength, and it's awakening. I think it's also awakening to the depths of our strength and what we can possibly do, and how we can be really aware of our negative patterns and cycles that we just live on forever, and being more aware of it so we can make that switch and use another muscle, because it's that other muscle that keeps stressing that's going to make the changes. So it's really tapping into something a little different, and it might be a little uncomfortable or awkward at first, but those are the muscles to use right now that will create all the difference. So this has been a spirit message talking about tapping into those muscles to gain strength in areas that you probably didn't have before, and it's gonna create awesome changes. All right, take care. Bye-bye.